Okay, I got a real couple good stories right here coming up right here. We'll start with this one. And there's another channel I've been talked about this and the Trump takeover. And then it gets in the next video. I'll commentary and mirror it because it gets deeper. Because I'm going to show some screenshots about Trump that shows real proof. But we'll start with this one. A federal agent, okay, a couple federal agents surrounding the guy, San Bernardino, his truck. And they tried, demanded, roll down the windows and then get out of the truck. And then the family was like, no, they say they have rights. Father punches it, gets away from them. Then they open fire on the truck. Check it out.
Agents. They opened fire on a family's truck. Customs and Border Protection, CPB agents opened fire on a family in California. We have the footage.
What do you want? What do you want? Identification. No, no voy a abrir. Hey, you can't do that. No le abras, no le abras, no le abras, no le abras, no le abras. No le abras. Guay. No le abras. No le abras. No la puedo abrir, ¿por qué? What do you want? What do you want? Identification. No. No, la voy a abrir. Hey, you can't do that.
Broad daylight.
Yeah.
Right thing to do.
San Bernardino County.
About it. NBC Los Angeles reported that CPB agents opened fire on the family as they surrounded their truck in San Bernardino, California. This was Saturday morning, as one CPB agent demanded that the father get out of the vehicle. He then started smashing the vehicle's window to gain access to the inside. Father then hit the gas to try to escape, after which several shots could be heard as agents opened fire. Local news station KTLA reporting, after the father successfully fled the scene, he called local police and asked for help because masked men had opened fire on his truck. Department of Homeland Security spokesperson defended the agents' actions in a statement to NBC Los Angeles. Here's the quote.
They're costly on
in the
this
course
one.
of the incident, that suspect drove his car at the officers and struck two CPB officers with his vehicle, they said.
Struck two.
Because of the subject's forcing a CBP officer to discharge his firearm in self-defense.
CBP, California Border Patrol officer.
Maybe parts of it are true, maybe parts of it aren't. I'm reminding you, this is their statement.
Yeah.
The father, who only wished to be identified as Francisco, pointed out that the agents refused to identify themselves and presented no warrants to justify the search of his truck. I had to protect my life and my family.
And that's the problem with these ICE agents nowadays. That's a problem like that. They won't identify themselves. They wear masks, and they claim that it has to protect their identity. They won't identify themselves or show their credentials like that. Nowadays, you got people posing as ICE agencies. It was just, I think, a week or so ago. I think near Maryland or something like that. I don't remember exactly where. Where a couple of guys posed as ICE agents, and they try to say that they're ICE and they need to see some undocumented females. They need their IDs and their green cards or their visas. And they're like, no, like that. So then they try to act like they're detaining them. And these were fake agents, and they proceed to molest and rape these women. So that's the problem as well. We want to see the credential because we don't know if you're real. It's like when you ask a cop, like, well, can I see your badge? And I was like, well, can I see your credential? Can I see your badge? Or can I get your name and badge number? Because we want to know if these cops are real. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like, and you got Trump that weaponizes these people. I'd like to show, like, don't show your name, don't get the credentials, like, all kinds of stuff. It's ridiculous.
Explained to NBC Los Angeles. My truck was shot 3 times. His son-in-law, who only wished to be identified as Martin, similarly critical of the agent's actions. It's just upsetting that it happened to us, he said. I'm glad my brother is okay, Pop is okay, but it's just not cool that immigration enforcement officials are able to do something like that. According to KTLA, federal agents surrounded the family's house later that afternoon, demanded that the father come out so that he could be arrested. He refused. And agents eventually departed from the neighborhood.
But you know they'll be back. You know they'll be back.
Now, you can't have it both ways, folks.
And the problem with police in America and these agents, they don't like to take, they can't stand defeat. They're not going to take a flight like that. And their book, that they are going to always win. That they're the good guy, you're the bad guy. That you're always going to lose, no matter what. That's why you got cops these days that take it personal and revenge on you when you stand for your rights, or you take a swing at the fragile eagle like that.
Either you are so dangerous that we have to surround your vehicle and discharge our guns in broad daylight, or you're not. And if I show up at your house and you don't come out and I have lawful reason to demand you do so, I'm not going to go get coffee, donuts, or anything else. We've got to see this through. Your danger, your threat to the community. Which is it?
Yeah.
How could they just go home? Local advocacy group, Inland Coalition for Immigrant Justice, said on its Instagram page that it was mobilizing to provide legal support for the family. Jackson, I'm still looking for probable cause. Like, why were these parties engaged in the first place? Why did the party with the mask on engage the family in the first place? It's a mystery to me. And as I was reading parts of this and then reading the statement from the police account, I could just hear people saying, "Oh, just comply."
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Here's what we've reported in the last several weeks.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, that's the problem as well. You got these frauded dweeb networks like Josh and Nicole and a few others as well. You know, oh yeah, who's a big one that advocates? Oh, just comply, just obey. Well, that none other than Officer Brandon Tatum. Yeah, that little fuckstick. Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. And they always say the thin blue line mirrors. You know, see something to say something, and back to blue. Or just comply, just obey. Yeah, crazy.
There are people who, based on the color of their skin, the language they're speaking, who are being targeted by both ICE, Border Patrol, but also by wannabes, criminals who are just out to do harm to them. That's just a fact. That's going on right now as we speak in this country. Can you make sense of some of this? Do you have a perspective on it?
Well, I mean, really a lot of what I've been thinking about as we've been covering this story, and as I was reading through it this morning from the production document, is how much this is encouraged, particularly by ICE's push to hire 10,000 new people with such low hiring standards. We're going to have these types of problems skyrocketing out of control as if they aren't.
Well, and the thing Jack has talked about too, and I'm going to add and touch up on that as well. I mean, you got police agencies and Border Patrol and ICE. I mean, they'll sit there recruit. You know, I mean, you don't even have to graduate high school. You could be a dropout. You could be living on the bridge in a tent on a cardboard box. Hey, they'll hire you. I mean, you got police departments they'll give you like a $10,000 upfront bonus just to become a peace officer or police officer. I mean, like Border Patrol, they give you like $50,000 upfront bonus for something like that. Like I said, other countries, I mean, you got to go to college. Like other countries, you have to go through police training for at least a year, if not 2 years. In some countries, you have to be a backup as a rookie. Just back up, just observe for 6 months, because you're just there to back up your seasoned partner before you can make the decisions as a police officer. I mean, 6 months, they're just taught you're right, they're wrong, everyone's a suspect, everybody is guilty, yada yada yada. Or if they stand for rights, arrest them. Just make up charges and let the court let the judge sort it all out.
Had enough already. 10,000 new hires. That's a lot of people
Yeah.
for
that's a
any
lot.
organization, but particularly in a short amount of time. All the incentives that they're giving people to join,
Yep.
up to $50,000
Yep.
signing
Yep. Bingo.
bonuses, get your student loans
Yep.
forgiven.
Yep.
The age
Debt's
limit
paid
has been
off.
removed.
Now, is that why they can?
That'd be like me. Hey, I could go sign up and have the house mortgage paid off. Oh, we'll do that, no problem. Oh, you need medical bills expense, or you wanted to pay your bills and pay for your grocery bill? We'll do that right there. Yeah, it's just what it is.
Hire the washed-up Superman. What's his
Yeah,
name?
we'll pay your car payment on
Dean
the
Whitman, I
Friday.
think was his
Yeah,
name.
he's also now.
Yeah,
he says
exactly.
he's signing
So,
up
like,
immediately. So they've got him.
You get that. I mean, $50,000 up front. That's a lot of money
Yep.
if you can get it. But again, like that, and part of how the Department of Homeland Security promoted their age cap removal is like we're strengthening father-son bonds like never before. Like,
Yeah.
get your son and go out and hunt these immigrants. And one of the bigger issues with how this is branded is that there's so many criminals about. They're all a bunch of criminals that we need thousands and thousands of new agents to round them all up because there's so many criminals in the country. But we know that isn't true. We know that most people, undocumented immigrants here, overstayed their visas.
Yeah.
And so many of them work in the fields like where I've been over the weekend. I'm in California. I spent some time in a
some of them do overstay their visas, or they didn't have the chance to apply for their green card, citizenship. It happens, but it doesn't mean they're horrible people like that. I mean, you get people that are legal U.S. citizens. They're still being targeted by ICE, illegally detained and rounded up for no reason. Jackson makes a good point too. I mean, a lot of times, like farm workers, I did a story a couple months ago about 37 roofing workers in Bellingham were seized and tamed by ICE, because some of them probably didn't have passports or your visas like that. And a lot of these people, they stay around like Lowe's or Home Depot's around because of daytime. Because a lot of construction agencies, sometimes they don't have enough helpers or day laborers, so they go out there, hire these documentaries, sometimes illegal, but they don't give them a good pay. And Mexican people out there, I mean, they'll bust their butt for like if you tell them, hey, I'll pay you $12 now, they'll do it. Hey, they'll jump on that thing. They'll jump on that opportunity like no man's business. That's why a lot of times you see like Lowe's, Home Depot, like hardware stores are out there waiting for opportunities to be hired. Some get hired for day labor, some don't. It's just what it is. It just depends on the project a construction company's trying to do.
Talk a little bit more about it in a story later. In a farming community out here, this is who most of undocumented immigrants are.
Yeah.
Who work vast stretches of farmland that a lot of these people don't even see, who like watch Fox News and all these other right-wing outlets. They have no idea how interconnected and complex this country.
I mean, dude, down the street where I am, there's like a couple of Mexican families like that. You know what they do? They do lawn service, like working around, cutting your grass, weed eating, planting trees, like that. Landscaping, that's what it is.
Truly is. All they know is the rural little town that they live in. So this type of stuff, unfortunately, is going to get a lot worse, and a lot of it is going to have to do with ICE's outreach for 10,000 new people with such low quality hiring standards. It's going to get bad.
So we know what happens when members of law enforcement aren't necessarily the best and the brightest. Doesn't bode well.
Yeah.
You're bringing in all these
6
people
months
into a culture that's already suspect. And they seem to relish breaking that window and taunting. And again, where's the probable cause? And why did they leave when they had him barricaded inside his own home? If he's that dangerous, shouldn't they go back now? I don't want them to.
No, but
because
they will.
That's why.
They will. And we're going to follow up on the next video. Give me 1 minute before I fire it up. All right, here's the channel right there. It's called Thom Hartmann Program. I just watched one video and it looks like there's more I want to get to later like that. This looks like a really good channel. So I've subscribed to this guy as well. And I just watched this video. He comes up with really good pointers. And I'm going to give him my pointers. I even got some better pointers like that as well I could show proof. Okay, here we go.
Taken over D.C., but nationwide now. He's
Yeah.
got what is going to be soon the largest police force in the world. They do not show identification.
Nope, they don't.
They do not name their names. They do not even identify the agency
No.
they work for. They wear masks. How do you know that these people are not, rapists? There have been
Yeah, and he brings a point like that. I mean, how do you know they're not fake? I mean, like I said, anybody can go get a tactical gear and a uniform like that. Yeah, you just go to your local cop shop or like a shop where you buy gear for like handcuffs, a baton, gear like security stuff like that. You can just go down and say, I work for ICE, so you can make it like you work for ICE, or you're a U.S. Marshal, CP, like a California Border Patrol officer. You're a U.S. Marshal.
4 cases now that I know
4 cases.
that I've read about of people either robbing or raping. Most of them were rape. 3 of the 4 were rapes.
Wow.
Where men went to areas where there were undocumented people, found attractive young women who were undocumented, told them that they were ICE, had what looked like ICE ID. You can buy this stuff on Amazon.
Of course. That's their
And
place.
then raped them.
Wow.
How do you know?
Yeah, exactly. How do you
So
know?
that was the problem that this family in San Bernardino, California, and we don't know much about this family. We don't know if they are undocumented or if they are U.S. citizens. I'm guessing they're U.S. citizens, given how they fought back.
Yeah.
But anyhow, they're in this truck, pickup truck, and NBC Los Angeles reports this. Agents surrounded the family's truck
Yep. We just saw
and
in the video.
demanded the people get out.
Yeah.
And Dad was driving the truck, and he said, "Who are you?
Like, what do you want?
Show me some identification. Show me some legal basis for why I should get out of this vehicle." And they said, "No, we're not going to show you anything. Get the hell out of the vehicle." And he's like, "No, I'm not going to do it." So they pulled out their sticks or their batons, and they started smashing the windows of his truck.
Yeah.
So he steps on the gas and drives
punches
away.
it, yeah.
And they start shooting
Shooting
at
at the
his
truck.
He's got kids in his truck.
They put 3 bullets in the truck.
These are these ICE thugs, these people that, you don't have to have a college degree.
Oh, no. No, I
By
talked
the
about
way,
that.
I lived in Germany for a year and a half. You've got to have a college degree just to be a cop in Germany.
Yes.
And that's true of most of the developed world.
And most of the other countries,
But
you have to
ICE,
go through training for a year or
You could
two.
be a high school dropout, as
Yeah.
far as I can tell.
You can live in the bridge in the tent.
In fact, you could be
They'll
a
hire you.
January 6th insurrectionist
Yes.
and get a job with
Mhm.
ICE. So, anyhow, the father identified himself as Francisco. He says the agent refused.
I mean,
to,
hell, you could be Antifa or a Proud Boy member. They'll hire you. It's that crazy.
identify themselves. They presented no warrants. He said, "I had to protect my life and my family. My truck was shot 3 times."
Yeah.
And according to KTLA, federal agents surrounded the family's house later that afternoon and demanded that the father come out
To be
so he could be
arrested.
arrested.
He
He
did.
refused, and agents eventually departed from the neighborhood without
Yeah.
detaining him. I guarantee you they will be back.
They will.
These
they don't
people
take-
do not take defeat easily.
No, they don't. But neither does police
So-
officers in America.
It's crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C.,
Mhm.
we've got the Gestapo all over the place.
Yeah.
In this case, it being the National Guard and ICE. And, Louise and I lived in D.C. for 7 years. And, we went out to dinner a fair amount of the time. There's just an incredible restaurant scene in D.C. The best restaurants, Haleo, Zatinia, I'm forgetting the names of some of the others.
I bet there's
Are
some nice
owned by
classy
Chef
restaurants.
Jose
Yeah.
Andres, the guy who started the World Kitchen that's been feeding people in Gaza. Well, actually, 5 or 6 of his people were murdered by the Israeli troops. Even though they were clearly identified as aid workers. Israeli troops have now killed more journalists in Gaza than any other country in the world in any other conflict in history on a kind of per capita basis. It's just the slaughter that's going on in Gaza is just mind-boggling. But anyhow, back to Washington, D.C. So Jose Andres, he's got a bunch of restaurants, but the easy way to look at this is with Open Table. And we used to use Open Table all the time because it's an app that lets you make restaurant reservations. Basically, it's very simple and straightforward, and they compile statistics. And what's happening is that people don't want to go out because the National Guard they're running these roadblocks.
Yep.
Apparently looking for what? Criminals? Like criminals are driving around in their cars? I mean, seriously? So how many different beauty potions do you?
I mean, it's crazy out there. I mean, there's a story out there that I saw. I might do it later on. Yeah, they're out there walking around. I mean, just if people were outside in the middle of the night. I mean, there was a guy having a cigarette on his own porch, own property like that, and he had his cousin with him. Walked up to him, demanded his ID. Like, what for? We didn't do nothing. We're out here with a cigarette. And they're trying to tell him like, oh, do you know about the Trump, the federal takeover, yada yada, blah 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 blah, And then they try to tell him, hey, you might want to tell your boys that you can't be having a cigarette, drinking a beer out here. Or you can't be outside roaming in your property yard after 10 o'clock, blah, blah, blah. Just crazy. They just go around treating like everybody's a criminal. Like, it's ludicrous.
Wait, they're not going into high crime neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It appears. Because, hey, you might actually have to do something there.
Yeah.
But seating on creating reservation numbers started to drop substantially, dropping 16% on Tuesday. On Wednesday, they fell 31%. These are reservations made by Open Table. And then they're down 20% on Saturday. So basically what's happening is, this is what Chris Murphy said, the senator from Connecticut, on Sunday. He said, what's happening here in D.C. is just a stunt. Donald Trump didn't like the fact that the walls were closing in on him, that his own base was questioning why he wouldn't release the Epstein files, why he was protecting very powerful people.
Yeah.
And so, he's doing this as a way of distracting us all.
Oh, yeah.
Which brings us back to the original question.
Well, it's just like, remember a couple months ago, Ben Shapiro was trying to do a deflection for his boy Donald Trump. What I mean by that is, remember, Ben Shapiro was talking about, well, if Trump's going to issue pardons, like to his January 6th buddies, like that, he said, there's one person that needs to be issued a pardon, and that's Dante Chauvin, the guy who murdered George Floyd. And that's when the police accountability came around, the George Floyd police accountability, which doesn't really work, and that's when Black Lives Matter came around. So he was sitting there saying, oh, he should give him a pardon like that. You know why he was doing that? He's trying to get for his boy Trump to issue a federal mandated martial lockdown. Means everybody in the world has to be locked down. Trump doing this in D.C. and other, now he's going to do it. I would say this is just a step closer. But it's getting to the point where he is going to literally mandate a nationwide federal martial law. Means if you're out there, unless an essential personnel or police or like ICE out there, I mean, if you're out there, let's say 11 o'clock, you're going to the store to buy a couple of snacks and baked potato chips. You want to make a beer run like that. That ain't going to happen. Let's say you get hungry at 2 o'clock and you want to go to Taco Bell, get yourself some tacos. Nope, that ain't happening.
How we know that Donald Trump is frequently in the Epstein files. We know that.
Yeah, we're going to show proof of that right about now. But I got a good screenshot ready for you. Are you ready for this? Here it comes. All right, here we go. Here it is. Trump raping children. Yes, sirree. I kid you not. It's right here in front of your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Epstein likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. Trump. Beep. Yeah. Right there. On the younger side. Yeah. Trump paid to silence victims through his lawyer, Fixer Cohen. Child's name. Katie Johnson, 13, pending. Kelly Fewer, 12, $1 million. Michael Parker, 10 $10 million. Maria Olivera, 12. $16 million. Charles Bacon, 11. $3 million. Rebecca Conway, 13. $5 million. Kevin Noel, 11. Unknown, we don't know. And S.K. Johnson right there, age of 13. In court, Trump was diagnosed as number 65.4, pedophilic disorder from DSM-5 diagnostic and statute manual of mental disorder. So that means his lawyers are trying to say, Donald Trump has mental disorders. They're trying to fight like people try to plead. You go to court and say, I plead not guilty, I plead by mental defect or insanity. That's what Trump did. And look at that. His lawyers were giving these children money to buy their silence. And guess what? If any of these children, especially her, if they go to court, they have to get all the money back. All of it. Yeah. Oh, here's another good shot right there. Return to Epstein's Island. We're all a young man. Yeah. My God, these girls look pretty young, don't you think? Yeah. Yeah, well, they love me young like that, huh? Ooh, here's another one right there. Just a reminder, a hooker and a con man are running America. A high-priced hooker and a 34-time convicted felon con man are running the show. Facts, just the facts, exactly, that's that. And here's the best one of all. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Criminal charges, 0. Felony convictions, 0. Impeachment, 0. Sexual assault accusations, 0. Life with Epstein, 0. And Trump's trying to base it like, blah, 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 Trump. He's trying to say, Barack Obama, Clinton, and especially Joe Biden. The worst that Biden was doing was what? Getting a little infectionist with babies and young women and females like that. Yeah, giving hugs like that. That's the word. Here comes the Trump. Criminal charges, 91. Felony conviction, 34. Impeachment, 2. Sexual assault accusation, 26. Flights with Epstein, 7. And Donald Trump is accusing Obama and Biden crimes is laughable. I kid you not. All right. Back to the show, shall we?
Donald Trump was characterized by Jeffrey Epstein as, quote, his best
boy.
friend for a
decade. His boy. His big boy.
We know that Donald Trump and Epstein...
Yeah, kind of like, remember, like Angry G, Angela Gallardo was acting like Edward Stayers up at Naked Boy Studios and Multiple Devices was treating like he was his best friend. Like Nikki Cuck was doing the same thing. Like Ed's their best friend, and Angela's going around like, he's like my boyfriend. Kim was going around and saying, Ed's he's a saint. He's our big guy. Yeah. But then remember when Kim was, Angela was saying, where's the case and where's the case number? Well, came to find out that Edward Stayers up at Naked Boy Studios and Multiple Devices has 62,000 CSAM and videos. And it's so funny and plausible that people like Duckbutt, Suckenhuff, the Peanut Speedo, Showbed, I want some roofie women after buying Apollini martinis. They're going to bat for sickos like Chuck Schumer, Donald Trump, and Stanley Hersha and other sick individuals out there. Just make that make sense, ladies and gentlemen.
A contest, or at least we believe that they had a contest about who could sleep with Princess Diana first after she divorced now King Charles, then Prince Charles. We have heard reports that Jeffrey Epstein bragged that he had slept with Melania before Donald Trump had. So, and Melania and Trump and Epstein and Maxwell were photographed together on multiple occasions. They were apparently very, very tight, good friends. So, was Trump involved in raping underage girls? We don't know. But if he wasn't, why would he not release the files to prove that? He's acting like somebody who's really guilty.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? There was a time when only QAnon wanted to know the answer to that question, but now I think it's all of America.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he's doing. He's doing this deflection like now. And Well, not that. It's like if you speak against about Donald Trump, like a social media outlook, yeah, he'll weaponize eyes and the feds to go after you. Yeah, it's just plausible. And he's sitting there accusing Obama and Biden. They've never been charged with anything. You saw the screenshot. It's right there. I mean, it's just ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Yeah. Yeah. Just crazy like that. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, he said, I don't know. Well, we know there's incidents like that. He faced he faced sexual assault accusations, 26 of them, and we saw the main names like that. But he had his lawyers and his cronies pay off these victims like that with hush hush money. Absolute crazy. I mean, he's a convicted felon. He's been impeached twice. I mean, he's it's just and all these other countries are just laughing at us because we got a screwed up, fucked up president as well. I mean, it's crazy. All right, man. Much up. Peace out. Much prayers, blessings, and all that good stuff.